Be simple.
Edit it so I'm really funny.
And handsome.
That's impossible.
Yeah.
I'm so looking forward to this.
I remember being there and seeing you get that tattoo, Tracy.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, everybody, guess what? It's CrunchCast 26 with somebody that I've wanted to have on here for quite a while.
That's not my monkey. Oh, shit, we're on?
Yes. With somebody that I've wanted to have here on a while. My old buddy, Tracy Hunt, who just registered on Twitter as @RhinoKeyGuy, RHINOKIO_GUY. So yeah, the CrunchCast, if you know you love it, we got the crunchstudios.com. You can check us out there. John made us a Facebook page that I've yet to do anything to, but we've already got a few likes on it, so that's pretty sweet.
Hell yeah.
You can always follow us on Twitter. You can check out that little thing at the bottom. We'll put all the links in the description of the video. We'll have an MP3 up. We got the YouTube and Vimeo, so all kinds of ways to get this, all kinds of ways to subscribe and like and social media and internet this thing. So yeah, let's get this thing started. Tracy Hunt is a pal of mine that I've worked with before. What would you say was our first kind of introduction? Would you say polycount? It was like...
Oh, yeah, definitely polycount.
Definitely polycount.
Definitely the polycounts.
I thought it was a men's room.
Yes.
The men's room at polycount.
But, the men's room at polycount. No, it's just, we knew each other from the internets, and, at some point in time, I was looking for a job for a while and didn't really think about it. And he sends me like a message or something like that. He's like, "Hey, stupid, why don't you come to Mythic, idiot?" Yeah. And that was pretty much what he wrote, but probably
we'll
funnier.
Hire anyone.
Yeah. And so next thing I know, I moved out there and just roommated up with Tracy sight unseen.
Yeah.
and it was like the odd couple. He had his big
Huge
piles of
regrets.
trash in his house, and his room, and mine was like spotless all the time. It's so weird.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Tracy and his hooker carcasses.
You got to keep them somewhere.
Chris's room, I keep telling you.
Oh.
But yeah, so me and Tracy worked together back at Mythic, and it was a good time, and yeah, we
wrestled.
We wrestled together, but we'll get into all these stories too. I kind of want to, and let's just. Brian McConnell's here too. Hey, say hi, Brian.
Hey, how's it going, man?
He loves being a part of the show.
I kind of felt like the fourth wheel over here.
And good old-fashioned John Jones with his purple hair and mustache.
No one has ever called me old-fashioned.
Yeah, I'm going to come up with a different thing to say who people are beforehand. Just good old-fashioned John Jones. No way at all. No way at all. So yeah.
I'm moving my lamp over here to see can I get a little more dramatic. Oh
yeah. Could you get an orange light on one side and a blue light on the other?
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess
You'll be like every movie poster ever.
I guess my camera's black and white or some shit because John Jones is all vibrant and his pinkness, and I'm.
You're all freaking out. You're like, you're currently being visited by God.
Tracy, I have to be fair, I have an adorable baby face filter on my camera.
Oh, look at this fucking reindeer asshole.
Okay, that button, that was...
How you doing? Reindeer.
That button was highly abused on the last episode.
God,
It wasn't abused. It was used exactly once and never turned off.
Yeah, it was never turned off.
We're only 5 minutes in and I already got to pee again.
All right, guys. Yeah, that big training regiment that we talked about, Brian jumped on that, so he's eating big. Remember, Tracy, when we were working out?
Oh,
and
yeah.
You put on a lot of weight. You got pretty thick, and you're like stronger than hell. Deadlifting 405. Like, I'm not strong, but I put on. I went from like 170 to what was it, about 220, somewhere around there, about 50 pounds. I could do it whenever I want.
Yeah,
Tracy was 5'7", 470.
Yeah,
470.
But I mean, you remember that? I remember you kind of got a little turned off of chicken.
Yeah,
because you overdid chicken breasts.
And and we never did anything to it. It was like take the chicken breast straight out of the pack, put it on the Foreman grill, and grill it till it's that maggot white color.
Yeah. I've definitely learned my lesson about condiments. You know, one night you have teriyaki chicken, next night you have barbecue chicken. You mix it up, just same ingredient, just you gotta mix it.
White?
Yeah, if you just like if you boil chicken, I mean,
Yeah.
it's like nasty white, kind of gross.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Brian's been eating big all day, so he has to go catch up on his potty work. No big
He's been
deal.
eating big fat chicken titties.
These are their pooper.
Yeah, this diet's crazy. It's messing up my body in a good way for sure.
Hey, you kids, cut out on that pooping.
And for CrunchCast listeners, Tracy is a hell of a get. Tracy got me my first in-house studio job in games.
Yeah, see, we both just told stories about Tracy helping us get jobs, so what a good guy.
I know, which is weird. Actually, John, you helped me get that job that I helped you get.
I did?
Actually, by going, hey, why don't you go to Game of Sutra and check out and see if they're hiring anyone? And I went there, and then it was like, yay, shitty job. But
that's not even helping.
yeah, well, I didn't even know about Game of Sutra. I thought it was just people fucking or something. He's like, hey, go to Game of Sutra. I'm like, man, I hardly know you.
That's great.
Dude, I never even invited you to my sexy cam portal.
Yeah,
Sexy
that's the
cam.
camp. Oh, thank God.
Hey,
Yeah.
so Tracy, everybody loves when we have a new industry vet on to kind of give that whole intro story about how it all went down. So,
Yeah.
you mind if we start in Gainesville?
Gainesville.
And that's where you were born,
Sure.
right?
No.
Or were you
well, I was
raised?
I was,
Rhymes with Gainesville.
I was technically pooped out in Gainesville, but I actually was raised and grown up in Dixie County.
Oh, yeah,
which
Dixie
is,
County.
Which is about 50 miles west. Gainesville was still the closest movie theater, so it was it was a 50-mile drive to a movie theater.
And this is Florida. For anybody who's ever been there, you know it's just horrible.
Right in the armpit where it curves around the Gulf.
Yeah.
And see on projectors and screens in Dixie County, instead of pixels, they use fish.
Yeah.
So everything you said so far, John, is trying to make a joke. So maybe you want to cut back on that. But anyway, let's get back to Tracy. Yeah. So I remember one of the craziest stories you told me about from your early days is working at a sawmill.
Yep. I was working at a sawmill. People died there.
Yeah.
One guy got all the skin ripped off his arm.
Oh man.
When I mean skin, meat to the bone.
Yeah, just
like
a bone hanging out there.
One of those horror movies, like you
Jesus.
see where their hands are like, that.
How does that happen?
You know those big conveyor belts with the spinning wheels?
You put your arm in
the wheel
one.
spins to make the conveyor belt move. Never get your your arm stuck between the wheel and the conveyor belt on the inside.
God.
Yeah. Actually, my dad was working there also. He was a supervisor, and he's the one that actually pulled that guy out of that and got him to the hospital.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's brutal.
But yeah, the sawmill was it was actually a fun job. I was actually on the cleanup crew, so my job was in between shifts.
Well, it sounds like it could be it's a hard job but a fun job. I mean, I grew up with my dad at a boat shop, so we'd always help out doing like mechanic work, which when you're younger that starts off just cleaning, but it's a lot of work. It's manual labor, but there's still a lot of fun things. It's fulfilling because you have like a day's work of things you do. Anyway.
Yeah, and it's kind of a brainless job. Not too brainless, because if you make a silly mistake there, you end up getting murdered.
Yeah.
So
it's a sawmill.
Yeah. So my job was whenever the in between shifts, they had 2 shifts. They had this gap of about 4 or 5 hours between them. I would have to clean all the big machines, take all the sawdust, all the wood chips, and put them down in this big conveyor belt. And you had this big belt full of padlocks, so I'd have about 20 padlocks, like the big master locks on my belt. It probably weighed like, close to like 30 pounds. And anytime you got into a machine, you had to go over to the big breaker switch, flip the breaker, lock it out. Because if you didn't, some asshole would come and flip the switch and you'd get ground up. So that was a lot of fun.
God.
It was hard work. It was hard work, but it was also not stressful like sometimes it can get in this industry we're in now, where you don't really you got 5 people and none of them, and they're all telling you what to do, and none of them have a clue what you should be doing. But yeah, then it was just pushing shit in a hole. So, but
Sounds
glad I got out of that.
brutal. Yeah.
I imagine that would really sober you up to like understanding how real shit can actually get professionally.
Yeah, it's like sometimes I work with these kids that come straight out of school and they're straight in the game industry and they're like, oh, this is so hard. Oh no. And I'm like, oh, fuck you. You've never been up to your armpits in sawdust water chainsawing logs. You know, you just, you know.
I remember you telling me about the smell.
Yeah. Well, the sawmill smell, it just smelled like wood mostly, and yeah.
I think
there's a lot of pine sap. I think you're talking about the shit factory.
Possibly. I just remember you always make so like back when I got my first studio job back in Portland in 2003. Trace and I lived 2 doors down from one another, and Tracy like on many occasions had mentioned how shitty lumber mills smell. I'd heard this from other sources, and I always gotten the impression that it was like one of the worst smelling things on earth, other than like a plant that manufactures poop.
Well, it's kind of a mix of wet mulch kind of smell, but really strong, and a lot of smoke from burning shit, and then you know you got all the fuel from the machines going through, and then all the ethnic workers. I'm not mentioning what ethnics.
Is it white people?
They count too.
Dirty white people.
Oh, they all stink.
Yeah.
I think
Jesus.
Well, you think when you got basically this big room that gets like 100+ degrees, and you just have people in there all day who do nothing but pick up logs and move them. You know, it gets ripe.
Oh yeah.
Doesn't matter who's doing it.
Yeah.
It's a very specific funk, I'd imagine.
Yeah. But
I'm one of the, when you mentioned that you get all these new kids coming to your game studio complaining about it. I'm one of those people that firmly believes that everyone needs to work some sort of hard labor job at some point in their life for more than just a couple of months. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. I learned a lot because I used to do janitorial work, and I used to lay carpet and all that fun stuff. And there's something about after a really long, hard day's work about going home and just like feeling good about yourself. It's indescribable unless you actually go out and do it. And you don't want to complain about awesome jobs like a game industry job ever.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I understand like whenever you get in one of those situations where you're working the murderous crunch for years and years, and you're like, and I'm doing this for a project that I don't even believe in. That sucks.
Yeah.
But I get people that will really complain because, oh my God, the cooler's out of Dr. Pepper. It's like,
wait a minute. Out of Dr. Pepper? Hold on.
Yeah.
Write your fucking Congress.
Oh, here's Mr. Rockefeller.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, yeah, life's so.
Sorry, Nancy. I'll draw a scented candle bath for you. So what was your first industry job? Was it Liquid or anyone?
Liquid was mine. The contract worked for.
Yeah,
because,
you actually moved out there to Portland too, and
yeah,
Portland's a pretty nice place. Though.
Yeah, it was pretty cool because when I was first got to where I was actually doing decent work, I hooked up with some mod team that was doing a Unreal Engine version of Ultima 1, and I was called like Ultima Reborn or something another. They probably got sued because that's a stupid idea. But I was doing some textures for them, and then John told me, I think John did some stuff on that one FPS
Mythic.
game. No, that one FPS game before you went to Liquid that was ruled by that asshole.
Gore?
Yeah, Gore. And I was trying to get some work on that, and you were like, no, we can't give you any work on that. And you said, but you're like, go try Game of Sutra. And I went there and I applied to Liquid because they had a help wanted. And I sent them the portfolio. Shit, my God, the worst portfolio in the world. I don't know what that's going to hold. That guy who's the lead at Liquid, I'm not saying his name because it's dick. But yeah, he. It turns out they were working on a lot of Ultima shit. So they looked at my portfolio and goes, "Hey, you want to work on real Ultima stuff?" So yeah.
Right. So you basically transitioned straight from you get a computer and started modding, and went right into it, and just happened to be modding something that somebody was really doing.
Yeah, yep. So I went straight from working on that Ultima mod to straight to doing work on 2 Ultima Online expansions, and then like working for a long time on the new Ultima X that got canned.
Ultima X Odyssey.
Yep.
And Tracy, that the guy you mentioned, I don't think I told you this, but he was in town over Austin GDC, and he and I went on a Segue tour of Austin.
Yeah.
Those weird little 2-wheel things.
Yep.
I saw a cop on one today, and I was like, that is funny looking.
A cop on one?
Yeah, he was just rolling up the sidewalk. I'm like,
really?
So
is that necessary?
Oh no, it looked fun and all. It's just when you're like fully in uniform, like that. Okay, that dude could step off of that and curb stomp your face. Yeah. But the thing is, he's riding on that thing, so it's funny. It's not like it's not very badass.
They don't go very quick though, do they? I mean, he'd be faster.
They can go 25 miles an hour.
He just needs to step it up.
Crashed one going 25 miles an hour.
George W. Bush crashed on one, so he's he's not above anyone.
He didn't crash on. Well, he crashed on one, but it wasn't on.
Oh, W. I was thinking about that earlier today, because after I saw that, I remembered the president was on and he fell off of it, and I immediately, in my mind, I saw him falling off of it, and then the Secret Service running up and shooting the Segway, and a whole bunch of like 2 guys running up in the full black suits and glasses, just emptying a clip into this thing.
Well, one of them
gotta save the president.
One of them would have to jump on top of the president first.
Yeah, the third guy.
And cover him.
Like that dude that jumped on Reagan.
Yeah. Oh, you got a comic there.
I didn't know they went that fast. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
but it depends on what key you have in them. They have different keys that let you go different speeds.
Oh, I'm sure they.
You made that.
When what's his name and I went on one, we got unlocked to the highest speed because we'd been on them before. Nice. We were just hauling ass all around Austin, running through traffic, all sorts of crazy shit.
I got a turbo in mine.
Yeah, they just told you that. They were like, we don't let the other people use the fast keys. It's just you being special.
Dude, no, I've used them several times before. I know what fast is. I fucked up on one, and I flew the fuck off of one and just pitched myself face first into this big grass patch because I was trying to be an asshole.
Oh, you.
I imagine the cop ones go pretty quick, too. I mean, why not?
Oh, yeah, they're all juiced out or something?
Yeah, why not make them go faster?
That would make a lot of sense, actually. That wouldn't really surprise me. Because, seriously, they can go really fast. And when you jump off of one of those, granted, okay, they stop
turn an ankle.
But you haven't exerted any energy whatsoever, and you can jump off one of those and just kick the piss out of somebody.
Yeah, but if you're being pursued, you just have to occasionally step up on a curb or walk over a bump or take your shoe off and leave it in the road behind you. Or
throw down some.
Okay, no. In all honesty, a shoe would fuck that up pretty bad.
Yeah, dude. It's like I don't know if either of you guys ever skateboarded, but man, it's like a pebble is in the road, like an acorn or a penny. Yeah. Any of that stuff is just, you could be just flying also, and you go into the street. Yeah. So what happened after you were at Liquid for a while?
Yeah.
Was it a year or two? I don't even know. Probably 5 years.
I was a year remote, which was awesome because I was living in little shithole Dixie County, where
so the money you were making was great.
Yeah, I was like a rock star there for that year. I didn't realize that whenever I actually went to a real town, they actually expect you to give them money for stuff. But I I was like there, probably, even at that stage, probably averaged out close to, 40, 45, and I was working in a town where, okay, say one of my friends has been working at the local prison as a guard for 14 years, and I think he just got promoted to sergeant. I think he is about to start making, 38. So
38K, yeah. But in a town like that's paid. If you're a super small town, I mean, what? Yeah.
I was like, I'm going out and getting me a new Saturn. That was back when they made Saturns.
Not the planet, the car. You may not have heard of these before, Brian, but there was a car.
I'm very aware.
Well, the plant's pretty cheap these days too. It's falling out of vogue.
They had similar aerodynamics, but so I got me a new car, like actually from a car lot. Like this wasn't like this part
like somebody's house.
Yeah.
They got this old junker in the yard. It's been sitting in the yard. It's got grass growing up into it.
Yeah, that's where my first several cars came from.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got like a new car, and I was like, like that one Christmas, I went nuts. Like I bought one of my friends, I bought him a new Fender guitar, and I bought my other friend back when the first Xbox came out, got him like a new Xbox and
That's
everything.
Cool that you were like really generous with your.
Yeah, I was like,
that's awesome.
Oh come on, I was showing off. I was.
Yeah, you're like, yeah, I got money.
Yeah, look at this, you poor ass. I got you an Xbox.
Good luck affording games.
Yeah.
I remember when you got the Hellboy.
The Hellboy.
The big Hellboy glove. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
that's so fucking cool.
Yeah, it's like I can afford to go out and buy a $200 foam hand.
I remember you got that like back when really really big TVs were rare. You got a TV bigger than every car.
Was it the same TV that you had in the house? That was a big ass TV, man.
Well, that there. After working remote for Liquid for a while, they're like, okay, we're moving the company from California to Portland. So hey, find a place here. So I found a place there, and Astro Zombie Mark Forsyth, who lives up
awesome
there.
Artist.
I knew him.
If you're on Polycount, you know him.
Yep, I knew him, and I picked. I contacted him, and he picked me up from the airport, and I was like, hey, take me to buy a TV. So, like the first thing he took me to Fry's, and I was like, "It's the biggest fucking TV I could find." And this was back when TVs were similar diameters deep as they are wide.
Yeah, this was before flat screen televisions really kicked off. You could get one back then, but it was like this tiny piece of crap you kept in the kitchen for women.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh shit!
It was like, no, you know what I mean. It's like the ladies' TV. It's like right there in the kitchen. It's got like an AM/FM radio.
Yeah.
And it's flat screen.
It fits. You make bagels.
Yeah.
But
it was like colored white and stuff, as opposed to a guy's TV that's all hard, angular, and black. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that TV was a monster. But it wasn't that heavy. It was just this big giant box.
Yeah, it was a 54-inch, and back then that was pretty heavy, and it was like about 2 or 3 feet deep. But yeah, I bought that before I had a place to live there. I bought it, and I was like, okay, now you guys are gonna have to hold it until I get back.
Tracy has always been a brilliant man with money. I can tell you from many experiences.
He spent his money on shit that matters.
Yeah.
Seriously, that TV, my God! Remember going to a Just Be Video?
Oh yeah, I almost forgot that place. They had all the cool shit there.
So
I would always go and get like a crazy Asian movie and be like, "John, come over! There's vampires flipping off bridges," and he'd be like, "Sweet."
This was before I drank.
Yeah.
Well, and to any defense, John Jones had just moved out of being homeschooled his whole life and had never seen or heard of anything outside of his apartment that had like barred up windows.
Oh yeah, he is still incapable of picking out a decent movie. I mean, he's just he flew across country to visit me, and he brings a Dane Cook movie. It's like, hey, this is something you got to see. He's in a penguin suit.
You motherfucker. Don't be disparaging. I never liked Dane
You
Cook.
remember that? You came over and watched the
I
movie.
never liked Dane Cook. You shit-talking motherfucker.
Hey, you did this. You did the same thing to me, Tracy. That time that I drove down and visited your house that was off in the boonies in Fairfax, and you're like, watch this Dane Cook movie.
Yeah.
You did the same. You passed it along. At some point in my life, I have to bring. I got to when somebody visits, I got to make them watch Dane Cook movies.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Going.
Actually, fuck. Okay.
You did.
Okay, I did actually bring that one Dane Cook movie.
Yeah,
to you, Tracy, and Chris came over.
Yeah, you had your.
That was way later.
You were wearing your Dane Cook T-shirt, and you had your Dane Cook tattoo. The big phone hand that says "Go Cook," and you're just like.
Okay, so you can't even see the Dane Cook tattoo anymore. Thank you.
Oh, jeez. Yes. Now it just says I like to cook.
Yeah.
Gotta change. and it's a reference to meth.
Yeah.
So Liquid, man. So
yeah,
you were there for a few years, and I forget if you went to Mythic from there. If there was any stops off, is it straight to Mythic?
Mythic from there. Mythic.
And
from
you were
there,
working on was that Dayok? Was you on Dayok, or were you on the other one?
Imperator.
Imperator, the game that never really came out.
Yeah, I still got the T-shirt though.
Sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Roman?
It's gonna get me some fat bucks on eBay one day.
Nice. When no one knows what we're talking about anyway. It's just an MMO that looked pretty cool that never happened.
There'll be that one guy that posted on the forums like, "Man, this game's looking so sweet. I can't believe y'all canceled it." And it's like, you don't know shit. That game was a turd. Like, those screenshots were all fake. You know, there was no game there to that thing. It was just a bunch of stupid shiny white armors and some Asian Roman guys.
Yeah. And I just want to say this to anybody out there: for every game that gets canceled, you think it looks so cool. That's exactly what it was, and that's why it was canceled. It was bogus, fake screen. It is so rare that a game was actually like, dude, it was done. It was sweet. Yeah. And if anybody tells you that, they're probably lying.
Yeah.
Okay, this is so fucking old, but do you guys remember Rebel Boat Rocker?
No.
That was, I think, Randy Pitchford's company before Gearbox. They split out from 3DR and made some game where they had amazing screenshots, and they got called out super hard because like 90% of every screenshot was ultra fucking doctored from everything ever. They got called out on it super hard, and then I don't think it was related, but very shortly after that, they got shut down. Their project got canceled. And they were just completely fucking kaput. And then Randy Pitchford started Gearbox after that, and then started doing pretty amazingly solid shit. But Rebel Boat Rocker was like one of the first big high-profile screenshot faker companies around. If you guys Google that, they have like crazy snow vistas and like bases.
Now that you mention it, in context of what you said, I'm pretty sure I remember that. If I saw the screenshots, I probably wouldn't remember them, but.
Rebel Boat Rocker, I'm Googling that stuff now, and you better be 100% legit with the truth.
I'll admit, there's plenty of places I fake screenshots. It's very, very common that many companies, that most of the screenshots are fake.
Faked.
Not a real-time in-game screenshot that doesn't have, gameplay, like a gameplay screenshot. Not... Okay, it's in the engine, and you got a dude of an axe swinging it right into some dude's head, and it's perfect, and he's playing the perfect pain animation, and the perfect blood splat is flying out. Or, to the extreme of that, I rock a mic like a vandal.
I do hear that you're also known to light up a stage and...
Yes, it's true. It's true. I'm sure Brian wants to get on this.
Wax a chump like a candle.
Yeah, Brian's been waiting so hard. He was like,
yeah.
No, there's been screenshots where I would go in and literally add skyboxes, render characters out of max, and paste them in, all kinds of crazy shit. And this is mostly from companies way back, because It seems like more these days, they usually just have, you can render things and they look nice in the game. You don't have to fake it as bad, but yeah, I've been there.
Most of the fake ones comes from the thing where you get like horrible marketing people to go in and take your screenshots. And
God.
And they go in there and it's like, we had one batch of screenshots went out that we got in trouble for. Like the art team got in trouble for it because they said the art didn't look good, but it's because the camera was taking a screenshot at something in the background, but there was a big tree right up in the foreground to where like you could just see the giant pixels on the tree, and it's just blurry. And then like the person that they were taking the picture of was like in the middle of some idle animation, so he just looked like he was like, I don't know, just spazzing out.
That sounds about right.
It's like the marketing people. They're just like, okay, I walk over here. I want a screenshot of this area. I'm over here. Print screen.
Yeah.
Bam.
They don't.
Yes.
They don't have any idea or understanding of composition. They just, as soon as they see something shiny, they immediately hit print screen.
Well, I'm going to go, both ways of marketing here, but I have been at like very high profile companies that have very well-paid marketing departments, and when they would show us the screenshots marketing did, there was literally a screenshot where the guy walked into a corner of a room and looked down at the floor and took a screenshot, and all you could see was blurry textures. I couldn't even make out where it was or what it was. I knew that it was just the floor, and that was like, wait a minute, what is this screenshot? However,
it's a cover shot. It goes. That's the first one.
I've been with other marketing teams that they have a different perspective than the artists would have on taking screenshots, because artists always make things artsy, but these guys sometimes, they know exactly what an audience wants to see in a screenshot.
Yeah.
And boobs. And they want to see boobs, beer, and maybe some dudes fighting.
Some boobs, some beers, and some knockers.
A bunch of dicks. But yeah, no, it's weird. Screenshots are
skinny, big-titted bitch.
I don't even want to talk about screenshots right now, because we're in the last leg of development at work, and part of what we have to do now is take screenshots during the day. Yeah. And it's like, because no one else is going to do it. We're a small company. When you're a small company, it's like, who's going to do it? You or nobody. That's all there is to it. Anyway.
Are you computing on an old-fashioned typewriter there, Don?
Probably. Looks like John went away. He's not needed. This is the first podcast where John isn't just like talking the whole time, just telling everybody how everything works and like outsourcing and shit like that. So he's just like getting frustrated.
We didn't get
no. He actually has. He's supposed to be spending time with his girlfriend, and he has a guest over right now that he's totally neglecting.
There's a lot of semen stains on his keyboard.
Yeah, you can look at it. It's gross.
I can see them.
So yeah, we were talking about that transition. So we just transitioned from you working at Liquid into working at Mythic, and you were working on Imperator, and that game shot pretty much right into Warhammer. Right? Yeah. The Warhammer Online Age of Reckoning.
Yeah, not exactly into Warhammer. There was a little gap in between there to where they were thinking of doing Dawn of Camelot, which would be a prequel to Dark Age of Camelot.
Oh yeah. And Dayak, for those that know, is one of the most successful long-run MMOs. It's still going. It's, 10 years now?
Yeah.
It's got, what is it, like 5 expansions? I don't know, I've got them. They gave them boxes of all that crap, and it's great, but I never played it because they said, don't play it. But they just wanted us to work. No, but yeah, very successful. Kept them afloat for a long time. Let us go.
So for a little while, I was doing some art prototyping for environments for that game, and we're thinking of taking it more of a stylish, cartoony look, because that was in at the time.
That was cool.
Yeah, it's still cool. That's still my favorite style.
Love it. Yeah, you can, dude. If I'm just gonna throw it out there, Tracy can paint the fuck out of textures. He's one of those guys that it's like, hey, paint this texture, and he's good at it.
Hell yeah.
And you're one of those guys that on Warhammer, like, you had so many, hero pieces I'd say is a good term for it, but you had a lot of stuff here and there too, but I mean, you had so many hero pieces, as in, like, major things that people see a lot in the game.
The Reaper statues.
I mean, and I don't mean like, I made wagon. So this wagon is everywhere. I mean, like, things that really require good painting skills. Like you said, the Reaper statue is a huge, big character with wings and stuff. It's awesome, and you can check... you still got your portfolio up, tmhunt.com/portfolio. You know, it's like you said, it's... You haven't updated it in a long time, but that's fine.
Yeah, I haven't updated it since Warhammer.
Yeah, you haven't updated it. I'm going there right now to take a quick look. Yeah, it's all your Warhammer art, and yeah, your stuff is on there. Yeah, you were the guy that did all the statues, and you did that crazy Chaos flag.
Oh yeah,
That,
the Chaos banner.
The Chaos banner. And then I was given the task of making like a ton of banners, like the rest of the banners in the game. And I took yours as the base and basically just like turned it into like 4 different Chaos banners just by modifying it.
Hell yeah, that's the way to go.
It was pretty awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I had a lot of fun at Mythic. You know, that was 5 years that
it was a fun company to work at. I would say up until the game shipped. Like, it wasn't even when EA bought them out. I think things got better after EA bought them out there. Up until the game. Definitely the professional level kind of. You know, it's EA. It was just like the professional stuff really stepped up a lot. But that's just because EA is, you know, they're EA. Yeah. What else can I say? They're EA.
Yeah, they're corporate.
Very, very professional.
Yeah, but yeah, it wasn't, in my opinion, until the game shipped, and they're like, okay, we just ramped up the team to crazy numbers of people, and now we don't need them, you know, and it's like people just started getting sacked, and that was after the head honcho constantly made all these speeches like, there's going to be no layoffs, we're going into a new project, and then it's like, you know, like
oh yeah, you got. I'm just reading your resume because I'm so cool. You went to Mythic in 2004.
That's an estimation.
Is that that's an estimation? That's how most resumes are. They're like, oh god, when did I? Oh god, unless you write it down when you get a job, which you should do. Yeah. And I got there in 2006, so you were already there for a couple of years. You were embedded deep.
Yeah, it should have totaled up to about 5 years, because I do remember that whenever I got laid off, it was like a week after I picked out my free camera for the 5 years. So I get a free camera.
Sweet, dude.
Yeah. But yeah. So.
Lucky.
But yeah, that was a lot of fun. There on the expansion, we started doing a lot of crunching, and there was a lot of disgruntled people because it was a mix of like, most of our friends just got laid off, and we're crunching, and we know that as soon as we finish this project, we're going to get laid off, most likely, you know.
Very tough on morale, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, and I just pretty much just, you know, around then, I just kind of went, fuck it, and I just stopped even trying there, because you know, I knew when the expansion dropped, like every other artist there was going to get sacked. You know, there's already the rumors going around that that's what was going to happen.
It makes you really numb when you know it's going to happen, and you know it can happen any day, but it doesn't happen that day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
And then when you're that's actually super stressful because you're like, and I've had this happen at plenty of companies before, where you know it's gonna happen. You're like, oh man. They're just giving me spinning wheels tasks. Like if you're an animator doing walk cycles and shit.
Yeah.
You know, they're just giving me busy work. It is just a matter of time. They're just waiting for for whoever at EA to say, all right, it's done.
Yeah.
And then that was that. And there's like, make your head count from 250 to 30. Yep. Tomorrow.
Oh shit!
You know, that's how it goes. That's what it really is. It's like they give you a head count, and it's just, you know, a lot of that isn't really personal. It's just throwing darts at a board.
Yeah, I mean, and what really sucked in my case, and this is the thing I was most bitter about with the whole Mythic thing, is there was the big round of layoffs where, man, so many people got sacked. I made it through that, and I think that was mostly because I was working on the scenarios which had a small team and needed to get done. I stayed in, and it was the day that the expansion was finished that we did lock on it. The email went around like, oh, thanks for everybody's hard work. We completed the game. And then I get called in, and I got sacked after that. Like, it wasn't part of official layoffs, So I didn't get any of the benefits. I didn't get any
that
of
sucks.
the,
You kind of got
severance
screwed
package.
on them. I remember that.
And it ticked me off because I'm like, okay, I made it through the big cut. So I mean, it's obviously if I was a complete slacker, then you could have got rid of me then.
Yeah, that's kind of confusing. What was the cause of that? Was it just because? Like,
it's like Tracy said. A lot of his morale was shot.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when it comes to being creative, it's you can't perform once your morale is done.
I understand that.
As an artist and a creative person, where there really is no, I don't know. There's no like if, ands, or buts when it comes to creativity. Everything really has to be in the right place where you can really put out the best of what you do.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're just going through the motions.
I understand that completely. I was curious why it wasn't a layoff instead.
I wanted to try to word it that didn't throw everyone under the bus. Like I know Tracy's like holding back right now. He wants to just name motherfuckers because there were some straight motherfuckers at that company, and that's all there is to it.
That's how it's got to be at a big company like that, right? I mean,
well,
I imagine. I mean, it doesn't have to be that.
If you suck enough dick, you can get a lot of places.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. On a lighter note, you both are environmental artists, right? You're an environmental artist. Okay. I was just curious if you guys would like on a big MMO like that, would it be more interesting to model a piece that's very, very commonly seen, or like a really rare item, say, that only pops up every once in a blue moon that people have to work really, really hard to see?
Well, that's like a, I don't know. It's kind of objective.
I get paid the same for eating.
Yeah, exactly. That's really the best. That's really the best answer. But like I would say, some of the best work I did was this one major in-game dungeon on Warhammer that you really had to be high level into PvE.
Was that Bastion?
Well, Bastion Stairs was awesome too.
Lost
Lost Veil was the in-game dungeon before like the cities and stuff. But that was pure PvE. That was very difficult to get people together and learn how to do all the fights with a game that is based on PvP.
Yeah.
Because like when I played the game quite a bit. I had a renown rank 80 character, before they raised the numbers and shit. But back then PvE was big enough. But now if I played any more recently, it's just pure PvE. There's no point to do or PvP. There's no point to do any of this. Well, let's go fight some monsters. It's a game about playing against other players, which is what it's supposed to be.
Yeah. So, when I play, it's like make a character, run as fast as you can to the nearest PvP lake.
Yeah, and just fight. Cause that's where all the best stuff is. That's where the fun is.
Yeah.
The action. But yeah, so like I said, I did the boss room, the very final boss of the in-game. Lost Veil dungeon. And it's a cool room, and there's a lot of other stuff I did in there that was very cool, too. But then I made, like, that wagon, like we said.
Mm-hmm.
And that wagon is everywhere, so I'm like, look at my fucking wagon. I don't know. Well, did you have any pieces that you're like, the man?
Well, besides Norden Watch.
Besides just jumping out there and being like, oh, it's my portfolio. But yeah, you made Norden Watch. That is, like, the best PvP map in that game, hands down. It is so good that they brought it back and made it like a permanent all-tier.
Yep, Northern Watch was
the bomb.
The proudest thing.
It was Valhalla.
Because I did that like level layout, game flow, design for what the mechanics would be for it. Like that map was my baby, and I'm happy because whenever I made it, all the designers was like, "Oh, you can't have asymmetrical gameplay because one side will say the other side has an advantage."
Yeah, it's stupid.
And they said that, but each side said the other side had an advantage. So hey, it evens out.
Here's the truth about symmetrical designs: they are unbalanced.
Yeah.
Even though you think it's symmetrical, it has to be balanced. Nope. Because if one group gets... I don't even want to have to explain it. If you don't understand it, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Spend more time learning. There's a reason why symmetrical designs
Yep.
are
90%,
unbalanced.
90% of them in that game, it was like you make one side and it's mirrored over to the other side. And
just like all those old capture the flag maps and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, look, a lot of them are balanced, I'll say that, but it's when it comes to purely symmetrical maps, that means that no matter what team you're on, you have a much better chance of just camping them into their base. And that's all there is to it. But yeah. So, I mean, we had a good time on Warhammer. Good company, Mythic. It was a great time. La-di-da. Made some good... the coolest thing, and I tell everybody, if you can get on a project that has, an awesome art base, awesome concept artists...
Oh, yeah.
If you're a production artist, then it doesn't really matter. If you're good enough to get there, your portfolio coming out of that will be awesome. Because we had so many guys at that company that this was their first, the first place they'd ever worked. And they were worried about their portfolio and shit when they got laid off, and I helped out a bunch of guys, like helping them getting their stuff together. And the simple fact was, look at this art you made. Look at the concepts you got to work from. This art is amazing. This eclipses people that didn't get to work with this kind of stuff, and they all got jobs.
Like Warhammer had like the most awesome concept team like ever. They were just so good, and and especially coming off of Imperator. Let me find it. I actually have a folder on my website in here with some of the Imperator concept art. And oh man, so where the fuck is that?
And Tracy, random. Do you remember Jonathan Kurtz?
Yes, I do. Kurtz.
Jonathan Kurtz.
I worked with him when I was working on Darksiders 2. That guy is fucking amazing.
He's a badass.
I got his autograph on the Warhammer figure that he designed that they made the figure of. So.
That's cool, dude. I remember that figure. The little dude on the shoulders of the big guy.
Yeah. I didn't know he made a Warhammer figure. That dude is as good as they come. They brought him on when I was working at Vigil as a contractor. He was working on Darksiders 2, fleshing out all the new levels, and then they brought him on to the Warhammer 40K project. That guy is so fucking solid. One of the pieces he did, so Joe Madureira, who's the creative director and an amazing artist at Vigil, did a Game Informer cover of the main character from Darksiders 2, and Kurtz colored it. And that made a full front and back cover, crazy amazing high quality cover for Game Informer. Jonathan Kurtz, absolute fucking pro. I'd work that guy again in a second, and when I found out he worked with you guys,
I could do a whole show talking about how awesome Jonathan Kurtz is. I could even tell the story about how he got trapped in the elevator at Mythic all night one night because he was like a late night worker, and one night he was going down to the gym there, and the elevator locked up, and he got stuck in the elevator for 3 or 4 hours or something. Anyway, JKIRTZ.com, J Kurtz is his website, and clearly he hasn't updated it since 2009, which is written at the top of the page. But he has a lot of his Warhammer concept arts and some other paintings he's done that are really awesome. And he's only gotten
awesome. Better.
Yeah,
I can only suggest him. Anyway,
and if you want to compare what we went through between Imperator and Warhammer, go to tmhunt.com/pics /Imperator Concept. Wait, Imperator Concept Art. One word. Imperator Concept Art.
He worked on that?
No. This is the concept. The
ones you did?
Quality concept that we had before Warhammer. So we went from this stuff here to the awesome team that was.
Did Imperator start with an E or an I? I'm just having trouble finding it.
IMPE.
I found it. Okay, I got the link. All right. What I do now is I copy all the links into a text file as we talk because people always want the reference of the stuff we talk about.
Yeah.
So it helps them out.
Stuff.
I was gonna say shit.
Yeah. The shit we talk.
But for some reason I censored myself.
Yeah. I could.
This is good stuff, bro. Did you draw all these?
No.
You got them on your website.
I was talking to someone about how bad the Imperator concept art was compared to the Warhammer stuff, and I had to scour the internet to find them.
Oh, you found? Oh, yeah. This was stuff that was released. You're not just like posting.
Yeah, no. This is stuff that was released, and I had to scour the internet to find them, because man, oh shit, I can't even say the names are just like random numbers because I don't know how to fucking rename stuff when I put up on my website. But
so have you guys described what Imperator was?
The game? He said it was a bunch of fake screenshots.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like the concept behind the game. I always thought the concept was cool.
The concept was Romans their society never fell, and they went into space and they started fighting space Mayans.
That works.
Interesting.
I liked the initial concept work. I liked the overall concept of the project. I was really, honestly, just like as a gamer, I was surprised when it was shelved.
It's always sad when a game gets shelved, but
I know
this was the game that you were talking about with all of the. I think we lost Tracy. Did we lose Tracy? Yeah,
Tracy.
Oh no!
Oh.
No, he fell asleep.
Oh, okay.
No, he's still there, but it's like, it locked up or something.
Bummer.
We'll get him back here in a second.
That's a buzzkill.
He might have yeah. Dude, I told you that guy was hilarious, Tracy, man. Oh god,
Oh, he's back now.
There he
Tracy,
is.
Let's say terrible
okay,
things
for just a
about
minute there, Tracy, you kind of locked up. But you're
Let's
back.
say terrible things about Tracy, like his adorable dogs. Like he doesn't give them enough treats. Oh shit! Hey, Tracy. Hey, buddy.
I just unplugged my thingy. Okay.
How's it going, buddy? Hey.
How long was I gone? I didn't even know I was gone. I was saying horrible.
It was only a couple weeks, dude. It was just.
I was saying some terrible.
You're in the future.
Racist things.
Yeah, you stupid white guy.
Anyways, what was the name of the game again? And I knew it started with an I.
Imperator.
Imperator.
Yeah.
That was the one that
it's
was
like Imperial, but Tor.
That was the one that had all the fake screenshots. Is that what the one that we're talking about?
That wasn't necessarily fake, but it was like they would take, okay, we got some walk animations for these guys, so let's place them over here, and they would just place things to look like it was a combat situation.
Yeah.
Here's one of my dogs.
Did you
cutie.
That's tuna.
Did you say it was imperative yet?
Yes.
Okay. So I want to talk a little bit about like our it's craziness. Look at that corgi stampede.
Spencer.
I got my headphones on, dumbass. He can't hear you.
Tracy, I want to talk a little bit about like our personal life because we were roommates for a couple of years at least.
Last out.
And that was it was a lot of fun because I'll tell you what, Tracy was probably the most unpredictable person I ever lived with. like right now he's licking a dog's face for those that don't have the benefit of video. And besides the fact that he's got animals there, like Tracy would just show up with animals. Like he'd be like, "Look what I got!" And he wouldn't just go into something a little bit. Tracy would go into something hard, like full. When you got a fish tank. You didn't just get a fish tank. You got like the monster cover the wall, like the size of that TV we described earlier, fish tank, with like badass fish, like
the 120-gallon fish tank with the 2-foot-long Oscars in it.
Yeah, and like when you were getting into music, like you didn't just like get a shitty guitar to dick around on. You bought a full studio.
That's awesome.
2-foot-long Oscars. I mean, like
those Oscars were sweet.
Big. Like you got them like Social Security numbers, right?
Yep.
I'm kind of the same way.
That was a joke. I'm laughing at your joke.
Oh, he's still trying to do that.
I got dog fur in my.
Yeah, you did. Delicious. But yeah, Tracy, very unpredictable, very all the way, 100%.
That's the way to be. If you're gonna do something, do it right. Don't do it wrong.
In fact, I got me a new guitar for Christmas.
Yeah,
that one over there.
Oh, is that a Les Paul?
No, that's actually a Gretsch. That's the choice of rockabilly.
rockabilly.
But it's actually bigger than it looks here. I can't eat it. That was what we call forced perspective.
Yeah. For those with the benefit of video for this episode, you're definitely getting a treat. Sorry, everyone at King's Isle.
Yeah, we're not allowed. We're not allowed to videos.
We can't watch videos and stream at King's Isle. Our company's from Bob. No, I'm not. I don't want to say anything bad, but hey, just upgrade your internet, guys. What's the problem?
I'm so spoiled because I'm watching bullshit at work and like
we're spoiled as crap.
Yeah, they do so many episodes. In every episode, there's titties pretty much, and like they did one episode on porn, and there's just porn going on in the background on my monitor. And I wasn't watching porn; I was watching a show about porn.
There was one time I walked over to Brian's desk and I was like, "Dude, I like what you're watching." And it's just like hard.
Yeah,
but.
Brian just loops the episode about waxing.
Yeah.
Woof.
That's a good one.
One of the, I guess, Tracy, we've talked about it a little bit before, but we should definitely go into this a lot for a long time. One of the craziest things I did in my life, and we kind of did it together.
Anal.
Anal. Professional wrestling.
Oh.
Potato.
We joined after we'd been at Mythic a while, we like pro wrestling. We're from the South. Well, shut up. There was a fairly reputable school, not too far down the road from us at Mythic. And Tracy's like, "Look at what I found."
Uh-huh.
And we went down and watched a few shows, and it was very entertaining.
Yeah.
We joined up, and woof.
It's hard work.
Well, yeah,
it's ridiculous.
It's harder work than you may think.
It's
the most
acting
brutal
on
thing
top
I've ever done in my life.
Yeah.
It's acting on top of looking amazing, on top of taking a lot of pain. It seems like. I don't have any experience myself.
This particular school that we trained at, they had a ring that was known as a ring that was hard. It didn't it didn't absorb. Like a ring has a nice good spring, and you get on it, it's really kind of bouncy, and you got nice pads, but it hurts. No matter what ring you're bumping in, it's always going to hurt.
It's not a trampoline.
It's still wood and just banging. You're falling down on wood. It's hard.
Yeah.
But
you remember when they finally got that high spots ring?
Yeah, that high spots ring was. We got used to bumping, and what bumping is when you fall. In pro wrestling, you fall on your back or on your face, or there's a few different bumps, but those are the main two. When we got that thing, when we first started bumping on that high spots ring, that new ring, it literally felt like, because we got so used to bumping on this thing that was like the concrete floor, it was like falling onto a pillow.
Yeah.
Because it's like I said, to normal people, it's to be like, fuck that hurts. But we got so accustomed to this death ring, and we would run shows out of the school every Friday, and like nobody would ever do sick bumps and like stuff off. Like people would avoid doing anything off the top rope or anything crazy,
except Jane.
Except Jane, that dude was a nut, man. He's awesome.
Remember when he jumped off the office way up there?
Yeah.
Through the table, through
this building. Okay, so basically, what this building was that we did the show out of. It was pretty tight. It was a small building, but it was deep, and it was tall. So it was like a 2-story warehouse, but there wasn't the second story built into it. However, there was an office, like a second-story raised office, that had stairs going up to it. And I used to work the lights, which were placed under the stairs, because it was tons of space. It was really high up, and you just still there, kind of out of the way, watch the show. Everybody. Do the lights when everybody did that. And one day, this guy put another dude on a table down right in front of me on the concrete. Went up to the top of this second story thing and just jumped off. I was like, gee. And I was like, right there. I'm like, oh, God, it's like, wow, that's insane.
It was pretty brutal. It was a good bump for an indie show like that.
Yeah, for a show like that, when you're going to a show like when you see like WWE on the television, and it's so big and so massive, there is a bit of a disconnection. But when you go to a local indie show or any kind of smaller show where you're like, look, it's just you and a couple people in folding chairs right next to the ring. At times, sometimes it gets packed hundreds, but a lot of shows are a dozen people in a high school gymnasium or something.
Mm-hmm. People would come and they'd bust their ass,
mm-hmm.
and then they would
you don't get less of a show just because it's a smaller show. But when you're right there in front of, when you really see all the hits, like you really get respect for those bumps. When you see a guy fall and you're that close to it and you hear how loud it is, okay, he really just fell down on the floor. And that dude just hit him in the face. That's pretty brutal. And it gives you a different respect for it.
Mm. I remember just that time when I had to do the security run-in against Chucky Wynn. Yeah. And he did his finisher on me. Oh, man, that about knocked me loopy. That was a...
Oh, yeah, that dude, okay, he was a huge guy. Like, he was, kind of like that promotion's fat guy.
Mm-hmm.
But he wasn't short. He was pretty tall.
Yeah.
Big, and also, very strong and pretty smart guy. I mean, not like with math or anything. I had to help him out sometimes.
Yeah.
But generally, as far as people go, he was a very intelligent guy. Yeah, man, the best word is walloped. He walloped me one time.
Yeah.
With a botched clothesline across the face, and it was just it pretty much knocked me.
Was that the time you blacked out?
Who, me?
Yeah. No. I think you talked about this before.
Yeah, we talked about this before, but yeah, that was it hurt, but man, I'm just putting the guy over. And I remember when Chucky hit you, it was his finisher, and his finisher was basically him just running straight into you and kind of
plowing
you as a big giant fat dude. And Tracy's not a tall guy.
Yeah,
he's a pretty decent sized guy as far as thickness and all. But he just you just disappeared into this guy's yellow spandex.
Yeah.
And then what was the gimmick? After that, he was choking you.
Yeah, he was choking me.
But he was asking.
He was choking me. He was like, "Are you okay?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah, I'm good."
That's so pro wrestling because there's so much communication that goes on in the ring, but you still have to be it has to look like a legit fight. So you have to really be fucking somebody up, but you're still communicating.
When he found out I was good, he rolled me out of the ring.
Yeah, totally professional.
I took a powder.
Yeah, took a powder. That's what they call it when you roll out. But yeah, I mean,
I thought that was did a hit of coke.
Yeah, you took a hit of coke. No, I did a Royal Rumble style match with him, and he's just so professional. It's he's just he hit me harder than anybody ever hit me repetitively. I had guys. It would okay, we've got one spot, and the guy was like, all right, you're up and coming, so I'm gonna just give it to you. And I get one just ridiculous hit, and it's are you kidding me? But this was a match where he just got me in the corner and just started chopping me with those paintbrush chops that come straight down on your chest, and they're just it's a big, huge guy arm just falling onto it. It leaves welts on your chest.
I remember when we were in the actual school training chops. Now that was a brutal day. It was just doing the chops over and over. Actually, I think probably one of the hardest days for me in training was I can't remember the kid's name. We had the two new young kid high schoolers that started.
The suplex day?
It was the day where me and you body slammed.
Yeah, the body slam day.
Where we body slammed the guy just over and over, and it's we were doing the moves, but it's just we body slammed the guy so many times it was just hard to even.
Yeah, it's bumping is rough as it is. You only want to try when you go to class. You only want to try to do as few as possible during class because that's pretty much what drains it out of you. It's you falling straight down on the mat. It's brutal. But one day, so me and Tracy had been around the school long enough, and we were, we're professional guys,
veterans.
So
Hall of Fame.
What I meant was we had industry game art experience, so we're clearly older. We're older guys. I was 28, and I don't know what you were 20. You were 22.
52.
Yeah, 52. So I mean, at least there's a different level of intelligence of people that have careers and they're a little older. So they kind of immediately threw a bit more respect to us, I guess, just because we could listen. Like we were really good.
And we made the flyers.
And we're artists. So I mean,
because we knew Photoshop.
But the point was, they could trust us. Whereas like a lot of guys are just like young guys that are just inconsistent, and you're just like, dude, why didn't you do what we just told you to do? And he's like, what? I mean, it's just people that just aren't accustomed to doing things. They just like
because I'm young and irresponsible.
Yeah, leave me alone. Okay, point is, let me get back to the dumb story. Yeah, the kids were like, the teacher goes like, oh, I gotta take a shit. So he's like, just start body slamming these guys until I come back. And he was in the bathroom for like 30 minutes or something stupid. It didn't make any sense. It was like, I started body slamming these two kids, and they were athletes as hell. They could kick my ass.
I can't remember their name. The black one and the white kid. And
they both joined at the same time. They both joined school at the same time, so everybody thought they were like best pals. And then when one wasn't there, they would always ask the other one where they were, but neither one knew anything about the other guy.
Yeah, but they were about the same age. And
both young, very athletic, good guys too, really good guys. Yep. But anyway, we're just body slamming them over and over and over, and it's just like I body slammed these guys so much that like. After a while, you're picking up a guy and throwing him down, and picking up a guy and throwing over and over and over. It's very brutal on him, much more. But your body starts breaking down. So I'm like Tracy, you want to get in on this?
Yeah.
And Tracy starts going till he gets tired, and then I switch back, and then we switch back again. Like we kept switching back and forth, like I don't know how many times. And then one of the actual wrestlers, the workers, Lazarus, showed up, and he's a guy who's intense. I'm like, you want to get some of this? And later, the one kid, Logan, he told me, he goes,
"Oh, Logan,
Logan, wait." And I feel bad because I forget the other guy's name because we did tag team a little bit, just one match. But anyway, I'll remember it later and be a jerk.
Like Logan.
Jeez. But no, he told me later. He goes, I was a little scared when you suggested to him do some of these because he's like, he's a way more intense guy. Like he'll like body slam you and then start working a match, start throwing punches and stuff. He's like, we're learning how to do a wrestling match right now. We're doing it. And he was just like, and he's a badass. Yeah. But anyway, then he got tired, and I went back to body slamming. Anyway, it was a tough day for all of us.
Was it Jared? Was the other one
Jared? Yes. Thank you. It was Jared. God, he was such a good guy, and then one day he disappeared.
Yeah.
That's how it is with wrestling, man.
How often were your classes? Was this just a weekly thing?
Twice a week. It was twice a week, wasn't it?
There was at the highest points. There was like Monday. It was every day of the week.
Yeah. Yeah, but you could go when you wanted.
Yeah, because they had like a lot of action going on there. They had people there that were like, I don't want to say sleeping there, but just hanging out all the time and practicing. So yeah. But man, that was some times.
Yeah, I missed it a lot. I mean, I just I ended up hurting my back when I was working out that one time, and that kind of put me out of working out for a long time. And then I just kind of. I can't remember exactly what it was that got me out of the whole wrestling thing.
Probably, I would say it was just like I remember the cutting promos thing.
Oh
you didn't really care for that at all, and that's really scary, dude. When I had to do it, I was just like holding the mic, going. Rrr, but over time, once you're over in front of the crowd a few times. But what was really, I think, was tougher on you was that night that you were the referee.
Oh, God, that was horrible.
Because here's what happened. This is a crazy story. The very first time, like I said, you did like security run-ins and stuff before, but when you're just a guy that runs in and says, "Wait," and then you get hit. Your first big spot, I guess, was a referee spot because I gotta tell you, you got a good look for a referee. You got that. You had those big ass.
You got those black and white stripes.
You had those big chops. You had those big chops going, and people were like, "Yeah, you were over with the crowd." As this guy had you not been put in that ridiculous position. He was put in the position of his very first time as a referee. It was an Iron Man match, and what that means is it's a certain time limit which is a very long time. What was it, like 25 minutes or 30 minutes?
Yeah. And I didn't even know before I got there. I got there that night to work, the normal security thing that I do.
He'd never done any refereeing before, ever.
Yeah, our ref's not here. You're going to have to ref. And I'm like, what? Like, I know the basics of it. Like, I know the basics of reffing, but there is an art to reffing, just like there is to working a match. You need to, You need
to be in the right place. You need to do everything at the right time, because if you don't do everything right, it breaks the match and it pisses off the crowd.
Yeah, and
it's much more difficult than people think.
It seems like you need to know when to look away too, because you need to. Yep. There's often like cheating behind your back.
Yeah, all the time, all the timing of all this shit. But
yeah.
So yeah, you were put in a very awkward position, and instead of having like I said, refereeing, like if you were like here's your first ref match, and it's like a squash where some guy who's a big name just like destroys some nobody really quick. Mm-hmm. Which would be perfect, because you go out and you're like, go 1, 2, 3. Maybe you got to do a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the corner because he's just mauling this kid. But anyway, you're out there for like 30 minutes, and here's when shit went down.
Yeah, that's when they broke Kaida Pro Wrestling.
The building was busted. Like all these like cops and I don't know, the whole like athletic commission showed up, because the Virginia Athletic Commission was kind of crazy and difficult to deal with in general. But wow, it was just like they just raided the whole building, started taking people out, and I don't even know how to explain what was going on. But they're like coming in there.
Were you in the back at that time? Or?
I was doing lights.
Okay, yeah. So, because I remember after the match, like I went back to the locker room, and none of the guys back there had any idea what was going on. I'm like, dude, there's cops all out there. And they're like, what? What's?
Yeah, because here's what happened. Because you were supposed to do the 30-minute Ironman match, but what they were trying to do is they were trying to hide the fact that all this stuff was going out to the audience. They were trying to keep the show rolling. So what they started doing is they started escorting everybody out that was a part of the show that they didn't need to have during this match. So, like, extra security people were going outside. They were getting the other wrestlers in the back to, like, leave the building. And the only way they go out is go right through the crowd. So the crowd is, like, seeing them, like, oh, what are they doing going out? And so they're trying to stall this whole process. And during this, the crowd was kind of sensing something was up. They didn't know. Nobody really knew. And so what they would do was, he was just shooting on the spot. He would come out and say, okay, this Iron Man match goes on for like 5 more minutes. And they would keep coming out and doing that. Okay, this Iron Man match goes on for 5 more minutes. And they kept doing that. I don't know how long that thing ended up going. Probably 45 minutes or so.
Yeah.
And you being out there for your first time refereeing, and you don't even know what's going on. So you're just like...
Yeah, when the ref doesn't know what's going on, that's usually not a good sign. But
yeah,
it was like all this chaos, and he's supposed to be the officiating body that the audience looks up to see what's going on.
Yeah. That sucks, man.
That was a really, really tough night. So, I realized after that I was doing my counts way too slow. They seemed right when I was in there.
Yeah, when you're in there, it seems right.
When I was in there, it seemed like I was doing the count, but like afterwards, like the workers were like, "Man, you were counting way too slow," and it was making us look weak, because it took us so long to kick out, and it was really. I told him at the beginning, I was like, "Hey, I've never done this before, so bear with me." I actually was lucky that the police raided it, because I was supposed to ref another match that night. It was supposed to be an Axel Rotten match, and he's notorious for being hard on refs.
Man, that would have been crazy.
Yeah,
your night could have been a lot worse. You could have ended up in the hospital bleeding.
I was terrified of reffing Axel.
Well, let's just up front. Axel Rotten is a really good guy. When you meet him, man, no one nicer. But the thing is, he's known as a very hardcore style wrestler in the ring. It's an in-ring persona. It's not who he was like as a person, but his in-ring persona is very intense, very awesome, very brutal guy. So yeah, you can only expect the worst.
Yeah, he also expects the people working to be on a professional level and know what they're doing. And I would have botched some shit in that match.
Oh yeah.
You know, and I was just like, oh shit, he's gonna hit me with that chair. I know it. And
he's gonna throw you a razor and say blade or I'll do it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'd be like, okay,
It's those kind of experiences, though, that you really, really learn from. I mean, there's been a couple times when I was thrown into something that I wasn't prepared for at all, and it's definitely embarrassing the first time, but you learn from it pretty quick. So, I mean, still, that's pretty cool. You gotta ref a pretty long match.
Yeah.
I mean,
during a police raid.
Yeah, during a police raid.
Yeah, that's such a crazy thing, but yeah.
Yeah. It turned out that we were way over capacity for the building, and plus, I think we had every fire hazard.
Yeah, every fire hazard, dude. It was the whole place was put together just like shoddy as man. Just getting to the ring was scary because they had this raised entrance area behind the ring, and the ramp going down to the ring was this ridiculously tight angle. It was over 40. Wasn't it over 45 degree angle? And it wasn't stairs. It was just a flat piece of wood. And every time anyone came out, tried to cheer, and then tried to get in that thing, like, oh God, Jesus! They couldn't look. No one ever looked cool coming down that thing.
Yeah.
And some of the regulars kind of figured out, some techniques to nicen it up. But anyway,
I think I'll be right back. I got to go to the Winkles.
Oh, sure, man, no problem.
The Winkles.
It's time for John Jones to shine. John, put on your headphones. What are you doing? John,
I can take the computer with me.
No, that's cool. We don't need to see it.
No, I'm here. I'm listening.
Yeah, it's cool. Just making sure.
I have anything to say.
John's just working hard. John's the kind of guy that, even when he's on the show, he's like, I'm working. That's all there is to it. I got articles to write. I got a life to live. This guy's probably working on a book. We don't even know anything about it.
Actually, I'm sort of, yeah. I've been replying to posts on Reddit.
Oh, the Reddit thing, yeah. Getting addicted.
Quite a bit, yeah.
Whoa.
So for those that don't know, Reddit is a social media site of sorts. It's all user-generated content, and there are different sections of the site that people run and maintain. It's extremely popular and one of the most trafficked, I think one of the top 10 most trafficked sites on the internet right now, reddit.com.
Oh, definitely highest traffic.
There's a section of the site called AMA, which means Ask Me Anything. So people from all different walks of life, whether it be like a celebrity or someone that works in a morgue or someone's a porn star or someone that's like an EMT or someone that's just been in an interesting situation, and they let people ask them any kind of question about anything, ever.
That is awesome.
It's really amazing and really enlightening, and the way the best content comes to the front is, as a Reddit user, you can upvote or downvote content. If you upvote content, let's say, so all content that people post has a score of 1. If somebody likes it, they can upvote it, which gives it a vote of 1, which would give that post's total number of total score 2. And if another person upvotes it, they add 1, that becomes 3. So the more people like it, the more they vote it up, the more points they give it, the more prominent it gets. But you can also downvote, which, for something that's really, really shitty, if a lot of people downvote it, they deduct a score from it. It gets a negative score, and most people never see it. So it's sort of like a self-moderating system. It's very open, very free. So the section of the site that lets people ask anybody anything is really interesting and kind of democratized. So they have a famous person on there. People will vote up the best questions, and the people can respond to that, and they can vote up the best responses to it. So it's sort of a meritocracy in a democratic sense. So it's really interesting. You can lead to lots of really interesting discussions. So yesterday I saw a request on the game developer section of Reddit asking for a professional game developer to answer questions. So I offered to answer questions for that, and I said, I help people learn how to break into the industry and give advice on that. So a lot of people are interested in that, and so I posted that a little Ask Me Anything request on Reddit, which is a very tech-friendly, tech-centric site. And I spent from about 11:30 a.m. till 7 or 7:30 p.m. continuously, without a break, answering all these people's questions. So far, there are over 350 questions. And I've been answering every single question I've gotten about how to break into the industry, what the industry is like, what tools they should use, like what they should do, like with their academic career, stuff like that. I've been answering everybody's questions at length, and they keep fucking coming. I am so fucking tired, but I've been answering these people's questions all day, and I continue to do so, and I will late into the night. Just trying to give people an idea of how to get in the industry, how to act on an interview, or how to deal with a job fair. Just absolutely every question anybody could ever ask, I've been fielding by myself. And it's gotten really, really popular. I have, I think, almost 200 upvotes, which is like 200 people that want to promote that and get other people to see it.
Well, I heard you're a huge superstar.
I wish. But it's gotten enough attention. I don't know. It's been really fun, really enlightening. It's helping me kind of nail down how I think and how I believe about stuff. And it's going to turn into, like, okay, seriously, I've written like 50 pages worth of responses today from scratch.
I was gonna say, dude, you type like 1,000 words a minute. That's like 56,000 words in a 7-hour period. You could,
it's one of those things. If you take all that and kind of like, put all your responses, and of course the questions that help to have there too. Now you get all the responses there. You get them all in a nice little notepad or whatever you like to edit your images in, and you organize that into some ridiculous article, or break it down into several different articles. That's really a benefit of it, like saving conversations, man. Woo.
Dude, I could not agree more. You're absolutely correct. It's going to be. Seriously, I see like 15 blog articles worth of content on that. I basically, so far today, I've written a fucking book on how to get into games and answering people's specific questions. It's just a matter of taking it down, editing the hell out of it, and formatting it and all that.
Did you get a chance?
I'm so fucking tired. Yeah. I'm so fucking
I know
tired.
It seems ridiculous to ask at this point, but did you get a chance to see that one article I emailed you that I'm working on?
Not yet.
Cool. I didn't think so. This is one I'm going to get this out soon, I swear. But it's just very thorough. It's right now it's around 8 pages long. But it's my "Wanna Be a Game Artist" article. That working title.
And it's huge.
It basically just covers, pretty briefly, just gives some ideas around every type of topic. Like, what is game art, as in like the different types of art in games. What you need to make it, as in the software, 2D, 3D, hardwares, as in what kind of computer is actually capable of doing this type of thing. What education, what you can do with an actual school, or the online educations of communities and Polycount, or just generally being self-taught as an artist and how it's so subjective. Building a portfolio, actually HTML, actually how to put that together. Networking, applying for jobs. Once you get in, some tips on just making sure you don't destroy your life.
Yeah,
because you're sitting at now you're professionally sitting at a computer all day with a whole group of quirky assholes. And look, if someone is able to get to a level of being a high level artist or something, there's going to be something quirky about them. Yeah. Anyway, hey Tracy, you're back. How was that banana?
It was potassium.
Nice.
It keeps me from cramping up when I'm swimming across the English Channel.
You do that a lot, huh?
Mm-hmm. Only when I'm in England. That's nice. Where it is, ain't it?
Yes. Yeah. Nice. So I think we kind of wrapped up all that mythic-y times and stuff. Did you go from there right to King's Isle, or
no?
Was there like some scam of time?
After getting.
Oh, that's I forgot it. Oh, jeez. There's some wickedness here.
I was out of work for almost 2 years. Mooching off my girlfriend's teacher money in Virginia. But finally, I got souped up with I applied for several places, and this was during that big recession thing that we just recently had, where all the game companies were dropping people like rocks.
Yeah, it was really tough to get a job back then. I remember at 2 different points between jobs, I had a 9-month and a 6-month sabbatical. That's what I like to call it. That's what I call looking for a job time.
It went from when I was at Mythic, actually having people contact me, like, hey, we're looking for people, and not like those recruiter assholes that just do that all the time, but like real people, like looking, like contacting me, like, hey, we need people, but so I applied at this place in Arizona, and I don't care if I hurt any feelings there, because people deserve to have their feelings hurt because they're stupid. And plus, they would just be they probably are incapable of even deciphering that I'm insulting them. They're the type of people, if they hear something bad, they always turn it into something positive, because they want so hard to pretend like they're not completely failing.
Those people are such assholes.
Yeah, but I applied there, and they had the weirdest interview process ever. They flew me out to work in-house with them for a full week of paid contract, and that was my interview.
Oh, nice.
So I get there, and I talked to them on the phone a little bit before this, and they're like, we're building a 3-faction PvP-centered MMO, sci-fi MMO, with all this new technology and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, that sounds cool. And they're like, yeah, and we're going to do it on a 1-year cycle, and we've got 13 people working on it.
And I'm just going to throw this out there. Tracy has a lot of MMO experience. This isn't like some jerkwad, some hobbyist seeing some MMO out there. It's like, oh, we're making an MMO, come join. Like this, like you at this point, at least one shipped in a failed dev cycle of another. Possibly between more than that. Like 4 total.
I've done the 2 UO expansions.
That's right. I was saying.
Then the failed Ultima. I did some work on Dark Age, Imperator. And this is barely work, but I did that cool pizza cutter sword and some other weapons and some hair for dungeon runners.
Oh yeah.
I did some
that
work on
was
DR.
Awesome. Dude, that pizza cutter was one of the player's favorite weapons in the entire game.
Yeah. So,
Pizza
I've
cutter
worked on a
was sick.
decent amount of those.
Shit.
But, yeah.
I forget so many of these things.
And to make it worse, none of the people running the company had ever been in the game industry. Never did. Not even stepped foot in a game company.
That means that everything you know is right, and everything they know is wrong, and that you're put in such a difficult position because I should tell them, but they're not going to listen.
Yep. But it was basically they had a successful like web design company, and the money people were like, we're gonna get some of that easy WoW money. So they walked,
sounds so much like 40 Rulers.
They basically walked through the web design company and goes, who here plays video games? And these two guys, and they're actually really nice guys.
Oh yeah,
They're
there's so many
clueless
times where
about
it's like a
industry.
good guy thrown in a tough position.
And they're like, yeah, we play games. And they're like, okay, you're gonna be heading up our new studio. so they're like, okay, we're gonna go and hire us a handful of people straight out of Phoenix AI, and we're gonna license us an engine because they literally thought that when they licensed the Hero engine, it would be pretty much like they would put the engine and they would go like, create quest A, deliver something to so and so, and and that's how you made a game with your game engine. Like when I was trying to tell them how long it took, they're like, oh yeah, but we're skipping all this by licensing our engine, because I was telling them that Warhammer was like close to 5 years, 4 years.
It's just like, so much stuff has to be made.
Yeah, I was like, they were like, but we're licensing our engine, so we don't have to go through all that. I was like, well, Warhammer did that also, but they were also using a licensed engine that they have years and years experience with. It's not It's not like
if you're not ready to actually make a game, you're in for some very scary situations. I don't really know a good way to articulate what you're about to experience if you've never done it. If you never used the game engine and you're like, I'm making a game, woo.
I don't know what you're talking about, Chris. I just sit and play games all day and then program the art.
Well, you got lucky. What's the first game engine you worked in? At CryEngine 3. What an asshole.
By the way, that was a joke for all the listeners that didn't get it.
Yeah.
I don't just play games all day, and I don't program the art.
No, you just watch Penn and Teller all day.
Yeah,
and movies.
Yeah.
Breakfast at Tiffany's.
That's good
all day.
Yeah, that's good background. Good background noise.
Yeah, but before even doing that 1 week interview thing, I was talking to the hiring guy at King's Isle, and they were wanting me to come out for an interview. Actually, I got the email about them wanting me to interview when I was checking into the motel for the Arizona 1 week contract interview. And I was like, well, I'm here doing this. I'll email you after. They offered me the job right then, and I'm like, okay, well, I could, postpone this and do that interview because I knew King's Isle was actually a legit company, but I needed the money now. So I contacted the guy at King's Isle, and I was like, yeah, they offered me work here. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to go ahead and take this. And the guy was like, okay, well that's cool. If you ever decide to look out here again, give me a call. And he gave me his phone number. And after about close to a year at Pitch Black, when I realized that, man, these guys, there's nothing they're going to do to get this game done. And we went on Christmas break, and whenever we were going on break, they were like, okay, well, we got to get this game fixed, so we're going on crunch as soon as we get back from break, so have some fun. And I was like, I'm not crunching on this shit. It's like, I'm not doing it. It's
sometimes
Yeah, they're wanting you to crunch now, and I'm like, this game's not going to ship before like 4 years of delays, and I'm not going to crunch for 4 years because someone who didn't know anything about the game industry told the money people that they could do it in a year, But so yeah, I called him, and basically like right away got the gig at King's Isle, which I've been extremely happy at King's Isle. It's just I love working there.
Is that where you're at?
I hear a lot of good things about King's Isle. And we've had more guests from King's Isle. Yeah. And I'm telling you what, we're going to have more guests from King's Isle because this Lee, what is it, Americoon, how do you say that?
Yeah, Lee.
If there's, normally when it comes to getting guests on a podcast, it's like, can you give me a ride to the airport?
Yeah.
Nobody was like, I don't want to do that. But really what it is, people have no idea how easy it is to go and just talk and just, get your point across, but he's been the opposite.
Shy.
Yeah. You are a very shy guy. I just imagine.
It's weird in person. I'm really like shy and like really withdrawn. But when if I don't know the people.
Well, yeah, it's like all of us. That's one of the good things. We know each other so well. Like we were roommates. Like we were roommates with John. So I mean. It's like
I don't know that one guy that good.
What's that?
I don't know that one guy that good. That Brian.
Oh yeah, he's fucking up the whole deal. He's the fourth wheel.
Yeah, that asshole.
But no, he's all right.
I'm just the looks.
I took him to see a UFC, and I have wrestled this guy.
Oh.
Oh yeah, you don't even know. Pretty much every time I wrestle Brian, I get hurt really bad.
Sweet.
He broke one of my ribs. That's how well we know each other.
Yeah.
So he's cool.
It's a brother.
Was it a Luger torture rack?
No, he power bombed me. Legit power bombed me on a hardwood floor.
I was going easy too,
and he was going light. Because Brian is like, you like touch the guy and you're like, oh,
I really didn't want to hurt you.
Like Brian is like a cactus, like a concrete cactus. Like we were working out, and I was like holding his feet for this exercise. I was using the bottom of my feet standing on the tops of his feet so he could like lay back on this thing and do crunches. And the tops of his feet hurt the bottom of my feet. That's how fucking this guy is. Like, his skeleton is like Wolverine's adamantium skeleton. It's like, dude, come on, stop. And he's like, I'm just standing here 4 feet away. He's just one of those kind of people. It's like, man, you should be like solving crimes and stuff.
When you guys were talking about all your awesome wrestling stuff that you guys have done, I was thinking about how cool that would be. Like, I wanted to get into acting for a long time, and they say in order to be a good animator, you have to be a good actor. So... And now I'm into wrestling and UFC and MMA and all that jazz.
It's fun.
So I
all that jazz.
Yeah, I wanted to give that a shot.
You get in there. Cool. We bought a.
Plus, I like kids and dogs, but the dogs part doesn't really.
Dude, the most attendees to wrestling shows are dogs.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and you can wrestle dogs.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's the reason why I like dogs. Cats are just like stubborn, but
dogs. They're just like, I'm done if you scratch. Oh, my eyes, I'm blind now. Yeah. Fucking cat.
With dogs, you just get on your knees and just slap the ground, and they know what's up.
Yeah.
They know what's going on.
That's dog talk.
Yeah.
Spencer all the time. Spencer wins. He's a heavyweight. He's the heavyweight champ.
He's Brock Lesnar.
Is it the corgi?
Yeah,
he's Alistar Overeem.
Yeah. That's a strong little dog.
I want to get a big dog, like a mastiff or a
dog that can kill you if it comes down to it.
A Great Dane that could, some kind of dog that could.
You gotta learn jujitsu to fight this dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, my girl was on this kick of wanting an Irish Wolfhound, and I'm like, we live in a small townhouse with like an 8-foot backyard.
Yeah, you gotta get the right dog.
Yeah.
It sucks when you are living in an apartment and you got like a neighbor near you that has a big ass dog, and they don't really walk it a lot or something, so it's always like in the house. Like, dude, you need to fucking get that dog out there because he's in there moaning all day.
It's like a game developer just sitting at a desk all day.
What a bitch!
You just gotta get up and walk. You gotta get up and walk your game developers.
Get up and fucking.
Yeah,
I'm only elliptical. Yeah, we did a little jujitsu back in the day. Me and old Tracy Hunt.
Yeah.
Because back when we were doing the pro wrestling, one thing we did in that was a shoot fight, which is like legit fight. And we realized that if we just practiced and learned a few of these actual moves, we could win.
Well, I got that textbook guillotine on that one.
Oh, you slayed that guy. Everybody wanted to kick his ass. He was just one of those dudes.
Just one of those guys.
One of those dudes that was like really, really small, but acted really, really big.
Yeah, irritating.
And just wouldn't stop. It was like, dude, please, I don't want to do anything to you because you're like tall. Like it can be really. It's gonna be really easy, and I'm gonna look bad. Please stop. This shouldn't be happening.
It's like that Wyatt-y little kid that was punching that big fat dude and got slammed on his head.
Look out, he's wiry, but he's small. It's a Johnny Bravo reference.
I know that.
Dude, I used to be a little shit talker like that. I used to be a scrawny little.
But that was fun. I got him in the deep guillotine. Got the legs wrapped around him. Got the back arm.
Yeah, he pulled guard hard.
Yeah, it was
stretched him out.
Pretty.
Good night, Irene.
Had a pretty long roll one time.
Yeah, it was fun.
You ended up winning though, but.
Well, I gutted out and I cheated.
Yeah, it was exhausting.
Yeah, I pulled your tights. I did the thumb to the eye.
Thumb to the eye.
I distracted the ref and hit you with a chair. But no, it's good times. But yeah, dude, this Brian guy, he's next level. He always beats me up because he wrestled in high school.
Not true.
He's just tough. Look at those forearms.
I just have fun.
He has forearms like fucking Popeye.
And you just got to catch him backstage with a chair.
Yeah, that's what I got to do.
Yeah.
I got to get a sledgehammer. I got to get him with the chop block and put him in the figure four.
Yep.
Shit's brutal.
Let's wait till after this diet, and then
yeah.
So, are you on any sorts of? Are you doing any sort of athletics nowadays?
You got some New Year's resolutions?
Ooh, yeah.
That's what we should do. Talk about those dumb things.
Yeah.
Let's talk about dumb things like New Year's resolutions. Because I know John's New Year's resolution is to drink 19 more beers per day. Yeah, he's still there.
Yeah. Quite the opposite.
Yeah, mine. Well, I'm gonna lose some weight because oh my god, I've got this horrible gut on me now. Let's see. I'll show you my gut.
Dude, just show your arm. Look, this guy's like hairy. It's crazy. Here we go, folks.
Can't see it here. Yeah, first let me turn around.
No.
I was just making sure there was no dried semen on my belly hair.
For once.
You've been working hard on that guy. Hard on us.
14 months of semen.
About me. This guy's nuts.
Shit.
Hilarious.
So you don't. So it's just to get rid of the gut. That's what the.
Yeah, get rid of the gut. Stop being such a slack ass and do more personal art.
Yeah, let's
make
mods.
Personal art one.
Let's make some video games.
Yeah, because oh my god, like when you talk about being industry veterans, like people like Chris and John, they're like the industry veterans that's like going to like the the presidential inauguration and they got all the medals and they're like standing up there and they're like, we were in the war, and I'm like the guy that's on the corner in the little cart that's like that's just like, man, being a veteran sucks. I'm worn out. I'm old hat.
I can't help that I met the president that time. I didn't know he was gonna be at Fuddruckers.
Ostrich burgers.
Bush loves Fuddruckers.
Yeah. Oh man, I miss Fuddruckers. I gotta find a Fuddruckers.
We used to go there quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a Virginia thing or?
I don't know. It's
no. They have one around here in Austin, but
it's like a burger joint where you kind of like make your. They're really lazy. They don't do it for you. They give you their fucking bun and burger, and then you go to like a salad bar of garbage, and you put it on the burger, and you have a great time.
Yeah.
And Tracy,
you get the 1 pound burgers, which were like.
What did you get? Like the big, crazy chili burger, and you would.
I would always
you explain this chili burger. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. I would always get the 1 pound big guacamole bacon burger, and then I would get a big side of chili into the big cup, and you just pour it on top of the hamburger.
Oh, nice.
And then you eat it like a pie with forks.
Oh, hell yeah.
You cut it like a pie and you eat it. And it was so good. Oh.
That actually does sound really good.
Yeah. Like, you couldn't pick it up. There's no way to pick it up.
Before I started this diet, dude, I should have just pigged out on all sorts of junk food, but it was just bad timing. And
I am a burger lover. I just love burgers, and it's going to be so hard to cut those back.
Yeah.
I don't care. Even crappy McDonald's burgers and just burgers, as long as it's a round slice of cow, I'm liking it.
You guys have an In-N-Out now, don't you, in Texas? Maybe a couple. I don't know. But...
In-N-Out can go fuck themselves because we got a Five Guys here, and Five Guys just murders In-N-Out.
Oh, okay. I haven't tried Five Guys yet, but I've heard they've got some awesome fries. Five Guys.
It's awesome fries.
Brian, you haven't tried Five Guys yet? I've heard otherwise.
No,
I don't remember ever trying them. I was supposed to try them.
I'm making a gay joke.
That was a gay joke.
Oh, nice.
It was a gay joke in more ways than one.
Dude, I've become completely oblivious to gay jokes now because I've gotten them in my entire life. Someone just says like something about a dildo in the ass, and I'm just like, I just don't get it.
You gotta keep them somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, Five Guys. I think I was at the Houston. Is there one in the Houston airport? I was in an airport somewhere, and I was supposed to be able to try that, but I didn't have time.
No, Brian, it's a airport.
A airport. My bad.
But, no, I'm just kidding. I'm a complete bastard.
I was actually I was trying to see if that was a gay joke or not. I had to think about it.
Brian's like, ooh, I went to an In-N-Out in an airport. Actually, I ripped on a buddy of mine for posting on Facebook. Like, I just had a little bit of In-N-Out with the kids.
Oh no, that's so wrong.
I don't even need to make a fucking joke.
Oh shit. So how's your New Year's resolutions going, John? With your beard cutting back?
So far, so good. Yeah, I've actually dramatically cut back on drinking beer. I took care of some like speeding tickets and bullshit. I've been getting up early, getting a lot of shit done during the day. I've been super productive. I'm going back to the gym, eating more healthily, not eating out anymore, budging the hell out of everything that I'm doing, and like doing like a lot more like fresh fruit juice at home, not being fucking lazy, and just forcing myself to eat healthy food, drink less beer, but when I do drink beer, enjoy it way more, and just really just taking control of my fucking life.
Like people
yesterday,
look really good in January.
Yeah.
Yesterday was the most productive day I think I've had in a year. I've gotten so much fucking shit done in my life, and I'm keeping it up and maintaining it. I'm weaning myself off of smoking, and I'm doing really, really fucking well with everything. And my goal this year is to drop 80 pounds.
80 pounds.
I don't need to drop that much. Like, honestly, I'd be okay with maybe like 30 or 40, to be perfectly honest.
The other day I dropped 350 pounds deadlift, and I was like, ugh.
But I want to set the bar really fucking high. I want to be ultra fucking extreme about it and see how low I can go. 80 is like almost unhealthily skinny for me.
Do you juice at all? Do you do the vegetables?
Yeah, just throw up a lot.
But yeah, honestly, like the only thing keeping me from being thinner and being healthier is just drinking less beer, because I do eat very, very healthily. Generally speaking, I only eat really solid, really solid organic range-fed meat. I eat like a fair amount of fruits, not enough to like fuck up my glycemic index, but a shitload of vegetables, minimal grains and carbs. I eat very, very healthily, but I fucking love beer, and I drink a lot of that because I'm a crazy craft beer nerd. So I'm scaling back on that, and in 3 weeks, the last time I scaled back on beer, in 3 weeks I lost 15 pounds.
Wow.
So I think this year, just by scaling back on beer, I can lose everything. So yeah, I'm really getting on top of my shit, taking control of my life, being responsible, and my goal for this year, other than losing 80 pounds, is to get the fuck out of Austin. Like, I'm fucking gone. I want to move to Seattle or somewhere else awesome by fall. I don't want to go into too much detail on it, but I have a really interesting opportunity that I'm kind of about, that's overseas. But if it works out, if it looks good, if it sounds good,
it's the one I know about, right?
Yeah, it would take me overseas for several years. But that's one of my long-term goals. So outside of that, I'm signing a bunch of contracts right now. I'm really on top of my business. I'm about to hire on my first full-time employee. I'm about to bring on a second, depending on how shit works out. And I will have I think I'll be making 6 times as much as I was with the best-paying job I've ever had.
Holy shit!
Wow.
Cool.
And working
that money you owe me.
Working like 20, and this is working like 20 or 30 hours a week. So my shit's really coming together, and I really see how I'm going to be making all my New Year's resolutions and turning my life into something truly fucking amazing, above and beyond how happy I was before that. So this 2012 is going to be the year of John.
Oh, the world is so going to end right before everything goes John.
It actually, funny you should say that. Like, my goal, if I don't move overseas, my goal this year is to be at Chichen Itza in Mexico, at the Mayan Pyramid, at like where they made that fucking proclamation on December 21st, 2012, to be there. If the world ends, I'm going to be at ground motherfucking zero, and I'm going to see everybody fucking die around me. I've been pledging this for years.
Look, you go to any one of those temples that was built to survive earthquakes, so that they could tell this story to us today.
But dude, chicken pizza is the big one.
Yeah, chicken pizza. These things are built to survive earthquakes. There's a reason there's these specific temples all around the world that are still up and haven't been destroyed. Those are the places that are going to survive it.
It sounds like you've been listening to some asshole like Graham Hancock or something.
Hell yeah, dude! I got that program. Look at how deep I'm in here. Let me see what I got here. I might have my old. Nah, I threw away my my boarding pass. Is usually my bookmark because I always take.
You're a boarding pass. You can no longer give abortions.
Shut up.
That was another joke.
It was when you get on a plane. But so my current bookmark is a index card that says "Are you awake?"
Yeah.
And whatever that means.
Hardcore.
I don't even know what it means, but I was gonna get it tattooed on my palm.
Yeah, I'm halfway through this book and it is intense.
I was seriously considering it getting tattooed on my palm.
So Brian, is that for when you're pushing a chloroform-soaked napkin into a girl's face?
Nice.
Actually, the idea behind it is every time you go through a door, you ask yourself that question. Any kind of portal, entryway, door, whatever you want to call it. And what happens is you do it so much through the day that when you start dreaming, when your dreams get deep, and you're in the dream and you go through a door, you ask the same question. And then it allows you to be aware during the dream, and it becomes a lucid dream, and you can kind of control things. But
cool.
Yeah. I don't know too much about that particular technique. I mean, me personally, I always use the technique of this is the game I'm playing, or this is the level I'm working on, like kind of like an art piece or whatever, and then just dream it. And for me, like I did that so much that kind of works. I can kind of get into a dream and shit gets real. So that Are You Awake and other techniques, they haven't really worked for me yet, but I always use as an artist, my dreams to help drive my art. When I don't really know where something's supposed to go, I want to take a nap.
That reminds me of a dream I had.
Yeah?
This is the coolest dream ever I had, and this is a legit dream. So bear with me, it's pretty deep.
Here we go.
Okay. I had a dream that I was working at a game company. Okay, a different game company, and we were moving to a better office. Like a much nicer office. And so we're moving everything, and they decided they're like, wait, we're gonna stop moving, and we're gonna have a pool party. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go, yeah, like a pool, swimming pool party. And I was all stressed because I didn't get all my stuff off my desk, and they were closing up the building, and I was like, am I gonna be able to get back in there? And the guy was like, yeah, it'll be cool, it'll totally be cool. And so I went to the pool party, and Batman shows up, and he's just wearing the mask and a Speedo, and it was like the Christian Bale Batman. And I remember being so worried that people were going to recognize him without the rest of his suit on. But he was a really nice guy, and he hung out at our pool party with us.
Nice.
My dream. Justin said the same night he had a dream that he was at a game company and it got shut down and everybody lost their jobs. And I was like, man, your dreams suck. I was
that's a reality for so many people.
Yeah, like your dream job's getting shut down, and my dream job is move into a bigger building, and we're having Batman pool parties.
Yeah. That's pretty much the best. That is the perfect juxtaposition. That's the opposite all the way.
Yeah.
What a contrast.
Like Chris, I would recommend if you want to try lucid dreaming, try melatonin. It'll get you into like a crazy dreaming state.
Well, this alpha brain and also like new mood and stuff like that from those On It Labs, that stuff is like
that warlock Joe Rogan.
Right on. Yeah, it turns it right on.
Oh, I completely quit melatonin, by the way, John. I completely
really?
got off of it.
Because it's too strong.
What was the reason? Just because I was sleeping too good. Actually, I should have just tried. Like, I did try half a dose for a while, and I was still sleeping too good. So I just got off of it, and like I trained myself to like just fall asleep fine. And now, now I don't sleep too much.
There's such a thing as a melatonin hangover. It can really fuck you up at night, and it's really hard to get up in the morning sometimes.
I've heard about that.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was
like. That's how I am every morning, huh?
Because like
it can get really shitty and really brutal. But honestly, like the funny dreams you have can be a blast. Just like it's not quite as funny as Tracy's, but I'll keep it really really short. Last night I dreamt that I went to a poker playing convention that's in the most boring hotel in the universe. But the only people that were going there that played poker were people that could start fire with their minds and turn invisible at will. So there's all sorts of like crazy X-Men style battles in the middle of going into like these really fucking boring poker games. And this is the kind of fucked up shit, like random hilarious shit. Like seriously, in my dream this went on for like a day. A fucking day of dream time. This is the kind of stupid bullshit that melatonin puts into my goddamn brain every night. I'm thinking of stepping off of it because just
like breaking a sweat telling the story.
Yeah, it was that was harrowing. Like I can't tell you how much that
harrowing or heroin. Anyway, tell your story, please.
No, that was it.
Good talk.
Yeah, I never have lucid dreams. I would have fucked that man.
Nice. Look at these eyebrows. You kidding me? You kidding me? This guy, you would be huge in Japan. Speaking of Vegas, there, Juan. Next week, I'm at the CES. I guess. I don't know anything about it yet. All I know...
Oh, you learned the name of it.
Yeah, because I Googled... What I did was I Googled Game Shows Vegas January 10th. And then I found this one in the list, and I was like, well, it might be this. And I hit the wiki page of the Consumer Electronics Show, the CES. And it was like, okay, well, this is actually happening that weekend. It has to be this. So then I went to my boss. I'm like, so what's going on with the? And I said at the CES show, and he's like, oh yeah, the tickets and it's coming and stuff. But I still don't even know anything about it yet. I don't know nothing. It seems so wacky that's how so many times that when a company asks you to go somewhere, it's not just this time. It's almost every time. Unless it's you planning out some event, a lot of times it's just like, hey, you got to go to the show tomorrow. Yeah, great. Let's go. Let's put it in front of the televisions.
That's what I love about being a guy. It's
Let me shave and put on a suit.
So easy to pack. As long as your laundry's done, you're set.
Oh yeah.
We're about what 145 in or something.
What? Oh.
Like I was just curious how far we're in.
You're a pretty good guesser. But we're right at the 157.
157.
This is when John gets crazy.
But okay.
I was starting. I don't know.
But it seemed like we were kind of winding down, and I'll admit it.
I'm kind of going to sleep.
So yeah, I mean,
it's actually yeah.
It's pretty late. It's pretty late for everyone, and that's the truth.
And we've been running really late lately. I liked the hour and a half format better.
That's what I was thinking too. Is like 1.5 to 2.
It keeps it tight, makes everything all right.
Yeah, we should really have a timer that kind of keeps us closer to an hour and a half.
I was just letting it be looser instead of mentioning it because a lot of the last few ones had really jumped up there to like almost 2.5. So. Yeah, I was just letting it be organic.
If this one's like nearly 2 hours, honestly, we haven't been like super game dev content full, and I think we're gonna get some hits for that. Or like
fuck those guys.
No, this episode. Yeah, this episode wasn't about you assholes. No, this episode was about me because I wanted to have Tracy on this show because I think he's awesome. I think he's funny. I think he's got some cool things to say, and I always tell him. I say you should have like a blog or like write a book or something because
get on Twitter.
I think Tracy's fucking interesting, and dude, I wasn't laughing more on any episode than tonight because he just
hell yeah,
just like the old days, had me rolling. Just a brilliant
until I fell asleep right around 2:00.
Yeah.
I ate that banana and it was over. humorous delivery.
But yeah, I think that Twitter could be a good outlet for you. Like if you just spam just something that you think is funny, like once a day on there, man. I think it'd be a hilarious follow.
Hell yeah, man!
Because man, I know you don't like to get out there and like put yourself out there, but I think you have a talent with that. So anyway,
I'll follow you.
Do what you can do.
I've already got 5 followers.
Holy shit! One's at least me.
Now, if every one of them sends me $1, and then every one of their followers send them $1, off $5.
Right on, man. So yeah, subscribe on YouTube. What the fuck? Why aren't you doing this yet? We also put these videos up on Vimeo, which Polycount now supports. Woo! Woo!
And I see a YouTube button down here.
Yeah, there's a button down there. I don't know what that does.
Yeah, I was wanting to press it, but I'm like, is it going to take me away from this page?
I think it just lets you like browse YouTube and actually I think it's you post videos you're watching on YouTube and as opposed to your face. So it could have been dogs fucking this whole time.
Oh, that's why I was sad that we switched away from Skype, because I had it all set up where there was a cartoon dog, and when I talked, his mouth moved. I was going to be like, I'm a cartoon dog. And so, see, now people know what I look like, and they can talk to me.
Yeah. Anyway. So yeah, Tracy just got up on the Twitter. You can follow him at rhinokey_guy. Learn how to spell that by checking the info of this, and I spelled it earlier. We got at John Jones over there, not the UFC fighter. At Brian McConnell, whole lot of consonants. And at Chris Holden Dev, that's who I am. You go to CrunchCast. Nope. You go to Crunch Studios. I said that before. I caught myself on a previous episode just saying CrunchCast.com, and what kind of crap is that? Ain't even a real site.
Rogan fucks up every time.
Every time. Yeah, Crunch Studios. That's where we. It's a website that is really of no value. If you've bookmarked the XML of the MP3, you got to do that. Or if you just like got the Vimeo or you subscribe on YouTube, you got it also right there. Great. So I'm gonna hit this button that plays this outro video, and
before you do that, do you remember when we invented Dead Space?
Oh yeah.
Okay, you can quit.
What a crazy thing to say.
Fucking Tracy. Jesus, dude.
Hell yeah.
You just won, man.
Dude, that was awesome.
I told you this dude's the funniest fuck. Yeah. I want to have you back more, a lot. I want you to be
our Duncan Trussell.
Well, maybe. That's a good call.
I'm gonna be your Adam Carella to somebody.